Hey, what's going on? So this week in class, I learned about collecting pencils. This isn't so much something I learned, but it's a question I have. Do steps in the classroom count? And I want to know what your favorite kid songs are. Okay, so this week in class, and this will probably be quick. But so this I actually took a sick day on Friday because I was so I thought I was at first I thought I was just tired, just from working with the kids and all that, and I was like, no, I don't feel good at all. And then I got home and I just needed to be horizontal. And so I took the sick day on Friday, which, right, oh, you don't take off on a Friday because it can feel abusive, right? Like you're trying to get an extra, juice a little bit more out of the weekend, but that wasn't the case. I was just out of gas, all day Friday. Today I feel a little better, but you hear how I sound, so it's like ugh. But sometimes as an adult, definitely as a man, you do this thing where you're like, no, I'm gonna push through and I'm gonna get it done. But unless you just absolutely have to, it's just not advisable in the classroom because, children are a lot to manage, and to try to do that, when you're when you're degraded, you're just not gonna do a great job. You're not at your edge, and it could be an issue for them and for you. And then just being sick, you don't get the kids sick, right? You get the kids sick, they go home to get the parents sick. You don't want to be patient zero, right? So I took off. I feel a lot better, so I'm good to go on Monday. But yeah, I think it just kind of, made me say, hey, if you got to be off, you got to be off. You know what you're doing. You know who you are. Hopefully it doesn't happen too often. And like I do things like I think there was a kid who was sick in my class last week actually, and I try to tell him like, hey, you blow your nose, you wipe your nose or something like that, wash your hands. But I think not that you can't get sick at every grade level, but in the lower grade levels, there's a lot more of holding hands and just there's a lot more guiding the children, and they're younger. Like I'll have kids who ask to hold my hand, you know what I mean? And then they're just a little grimier, so you have to take care of yourself at home, make sure that you keep things clean, but also teach them to keep things clean. So, and here's a question, right? So, well, I'll tell you what's going on first and then you answer for me. So, one thing that I noticed about teaching is that it has a really high mental load, and that you're really doing a lot of things at once that seem to be important. I've had jobs before where it was like I had one or two things to do. I used to do customer service for people's health benefits, right? So someone would call, I would pull up their screen. They'd ask me a question. I'd look for what it was they wanted to know. I'd tell them, I'd leave a note. Now, those are a few different steps, but they all kind of happen, even if they happen in quick succession, they kind of happen one at a time. But for some reason, and I think part of it is getting my flow together and getting things organized. As a teacher, it just feels like everything is really stacked on top of each other, and I think that's one of the things that I want to work on right now is class management, because of classroom management, if I get that together, then there's not so much happening. What's going on, Dr. Chaz? I owe you a clip. I haven't forgotten. I was thinking about that the day I got you. It just seems like if you don't have the class under control, then all the kids are pulling at you for things. So that's potentially 19 sources of distraction. In addition to, if you do have what I like to call a child with the highest level of potential, That's not just one child. That's the effect of maybe 3 or 4 children pulling your attention. Then there's the work it is that you actually have to do, and yeah, it can be a lot. I'm curious. Other than teaching, what jobs would you say, and you can leave it in the comment, have a high mental load where you're doing lots of things at once? Like I think probably at one point you probably could have said that about pilots maybe. Now there's a whole lot of autopilot and computer stuff going on with that. But what other jobs are you doing a whole bunch of critical things simultaneously? I think somebody, my business coach, Dave Anderson, talks about, excuse me, in business, you have glass balls and rubber balls, right? Rubber balls, you can drop them. They bounce. Glass balls, you can't drop. It feels like, and I could be wrong, so if you're a teacher, you can let me know what you think. It feels like when you're a teacher, you have multiple glass balls going, and I still got to learn how to juggle. So leave it in the comment. What other job do you know of or have you had that is as high a mental load as and maybe elementary school can be. High school can be a little different, right? But elementary school, I don't know. I think that might be special. And tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. So you see, I got my fitness tracker here, right? By the time I get to the end of the day, I would say if I'm a little less active, then I might have between maybe 6,000 and 7,000 teaching stubborn adults. Sure. And listen, that's my joke, right? Kids are easy to deal with. In the school system, it's almost never the kids, or not as much the kids. It's normally the adults that'll give you more problems. But I might have between 5,500 and maybe 7,000 steps if I'm really just kind of circulating the classroom and just active. And let's say I got a few errands to run at the office or something like that. I can easily come home and have 9,000 steps, close to 10,000 steps. My question is, do teacher steps count, right? Does it really count in terms of a fitness goal? Because it's around a classroom. It's small steps. It's leisure steps. Are steps, or do teacher steps count? Let me know what you think below in the comment. All right. Also, my kids, so sometimes we have to have inside a recess, right? Because of the heat index. If it's over 105, and for me, I'm like, well, I don't know. If it's over 100, all steps matter. Listen, Dr. Chaz, that sounds like a shirt to me. All steps matter. But yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, sometimes we have to have inside recess, right? Because it's too hot outside. And there's a couple things. The good thing about kids is they like what they like, especially young kids. You can introduce them to new things, but they know what they like. So there's this one song, Banana Meatball. It's a Go Noodle if you go to their YouTube page, they have a ton of stuff. And the other one that they keep asking me for, Moose on the Loose, is the I guess the group or the platform, and they got a bunch of different things, so they ask for a specific one of those. But I'm like, listen, I like kid stuff. Like one of my favorite time periods in my house was when my kids were watching Yo Gabba Gabba. I loved it. I thought the music was amazing. If you can, leave in the comments, what kid song do you like, right? Like if you're a parent and you have, or you've gone through your little kid phase, but you had to listen to some stuff every day. Was there something that you was like, listen, this is knocking just a little bit, even though it's little kid stuff, I'm feeling it, And then even if you don't have kids, what music have you come across that you liked? Quintel,
Sir.
who was that group that you used to like?
I Am Not Your Groom.
Yeah.
I can't think of their name right now, but that's the song.
We Might Be Giants.
We Might Be Giants!
we we might be giants was another. Listen, I don't even know if we had kids at the time when somebody recommended that to us. Just fun music. Side note: this has nothing to do with anything I'm talking about, but I've been talking with friends of mine about like I'm a gospel music aficionado, right? Love gospel music, always have, and Lamb Chop, the song that doesn't end.
Yes.
Indeed, love gospel music. I wonder why there is no fun gospel music, no silly gospel songs. There's stuff for kids, you know what I mean? But there's no Weird Al of gospel music. There's some silly stuff you'll find in rap and things like that, and I'm like, why we gotta be so serious, you know? But that's nothing. That's neither here nor there. That's just my thing, you know. I think it's good to have fun, regardless of what level you're at, right? I'm coming to a close. Oh, so I got a new trick. All right, so I have. Oh, okay. So I have slides for my kids, right? And so in the morning when they come in, there's a good morning slide, and it has everything that they're supposed to do on it. And then I also have a slide because we have sinners, and then I have a goodbye slide, right? Has everything on it they're supposed to do. And last year when I was a sub, one thing I used to do is I would put up an inspirational quote, and I used, AI to create this thing, and I had the same motif every day. So it was like be, right? So it was like, be honest, be powerful, be inquisitive. Like I would have that up on the board every day when they came in for my fifth graders. So because I only have so much room and I got this slide for the kids, they got to be able to see it. I'm like, oh man, how can I make this interesting on a daily level? What can I do? And what I started doing is I actually changed the language of just the good morning and the goodbye. Everything else is in English. They can read it. But I changed the language and I put what the language is. You know what I mean? And you do that a couple times and then they'll start looking for that. So and I like the languages that, the languages that have used the letters that we use are cool, but it's more eye-catching when I use languages that don't use the alphabet that we use. So that's fun. So anyway, on a good morning slide, one of the things that I have on there is sharpen 2 pencils. So you sharpen pencils before the day starts. We don't use pencils right away. So when I'm ready to work and I'm ready for you to use a pencil, nobody's telling me I don't have a pencil because you went to go sharpen it and you told me then, or no one's asking me to sharpen their pencil. That is the goal, right? So I'm finding, and they're second graders, so they don't always stay on task. So I'll have people say, oh, I don't have pencils. And I'm like, I gave you pencils yesterday. You should have pencils, but they're second graders. So what I started doing, because for some reason, I don't know why everybody feel like they got to throw everything on the floor. Excuse me. But what I'll do is at the end of the day, I collect all the pencils that are on the floor and put them in my desk. That is my pencil collection. So when somebody tells me I don't have a pencil, here you go. So ain't no running around the class. And a lot of times that's just work avoidance. It's like nobody has any issues until I'm like, all right, take out your math book. Everybody got to go to the bathroom. Everybody needs to sharpen their pencil. All that goofiness. I'm like, no. Let me teach my lesson. You don't need a pencil until I tell you it's time to start work anyway. So it's finding that fine line between, is this person just trying to avoid work and trying to play games with me? You know what I mean? Or does this child actually have to go to the bathroom, right? You got to figure that out, because you don't want to be, I got kids and I don't want to hear about my child having to go to the bathroom and the teacher holding them. So a lot of times with the bathroom thing, as a matter of fact, that's on the good morning slide. Come in, go to the bathroom. So when I start, nobody's telling me you got to go to the bathroom at the top. because we're done with that. And then normally what I'll do is I will teach my lesson, tell you what it is I want to say, I need for you to work on, right? Get you started. Once everybody's working, then I send people to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Snack time, recess, that's when you go to the bathroom. Now, of course, nobody wants to or needs to go then. They need to go as soon as I start talking, but it is what it is. Last thing. So, I was talking with a teacher the other day, and I was feeling like, and I didn't like to say this, but it was like, I'm doing my best. I am a first year teacher. These children are going to get the second grade experience that they get. And that sounds defeatist. And I had a teacher tell me, no, listen, one thing somebody told her a while back was, you can't be worried and concerned or scared. These children are going to learn anyway, because that is the way that the human brain works. Now, can I do a better job to guarantee higher success rates for more children? Yes. And that comes over time, right? But at the end of the day, they are going to move up a level because one, I care, two, if I make things interesting, then they're going to look and they're going to grab it. And if I get classroom management under control, then there's less interruptions in the class, and then the kids will actually learn. All right, so I'm done because I probably need to be horizontal. Again, your homework. Oh, so first of all, if you want to be a part of my classroom, my wish list, my Amazon wish list is there in the comments. Thank you so much. Everybody who's helped already, I'm blown away. I appreciate it. And if you want to help some more, great. Because I know if you've looked at it, you're like, well, he got some of the same stuff on here. What I do is any large thing that's like a one-time thing, like somebody bought me a printer. It's like, wow. That comes off because I only need one printer. But boxes of pencils, like we just talked about, boxes of crayons, maybe glue sticks, maybe even tissue. Those are things that are consumable that are going to run out as the year goes on. So I'm going to tend to leave those on the list. So don't ever be confused by, well, is he checking this? Is he taking care of it? I am. I'm just moving the big things. I'm leaving the consumable things there. So your homework this week is give me in the comments some of your favorite kid songs and let me know what jobs either you've had or that you know of that require a lot of bandwidth and are maybe on par with the mental load of an elementary school teacher. Well, I think it's a lot for everybody, but definitely starting off, it's bananas. So let me know and give me details because I just want to know. All right. So I appreciate everybody. Y'all take care. Have a great week. Oh, one more question. Yes, one more question. My wife, I've been doing this on Sunday nights, right? And she was like, well, that's the next week. So I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. So let me know if it makes a difference to you, or if you care in the comments, or if it makes more sense for me to do this either Friday or Saturday, or if I do it Sunday. It doesn't matter. We know what you're doing, and it's numbered. Don't nobody care. Let me know what you think. All right, y'all. Take care.